Sweet love. Are you busy? Yes. Thanks, Jacinta.
Wow. I know I'm not loophole married to Foodie, but I don't know if I could tolerate this. You've had to go and pick up the groceries, and now you're bringing them in and putting them away. Meanwhile, Chantal's sitting here on the edge of her couch, heavy breathing, begging for super chats. What a life! What a life!
All this time, I just always wondered, why won't he leave? The money is dwindling. Every month is worse. Why won't he leave? He's Forrest Gump. That's why he won't leave. And he apparently has a business degree. But if he is willing to show us participation medals proudly, I feel like we would have seen that degree by now. That's just me saying. Methinks the degree, like the marriage certificate, does not exist. If you don't subscribe, you will be smacked down by the Lord. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Uhari, and this is the place where I talk about anything that catches my eye because I'm a very opinionated person with not a lot of people to share my opinions with. But today is actually a very special video dedicated to a friend of mine, Chris. Hi, Chris. I don't usually share, actually I don't at all share my channel with people in my real life. The only person who knows about my channel is my sister, and even then I told her, please don't subscribe to me, please don't watch my videos, it's not for you. But since I can't talk about certain things with a certain person anymore, bitch tits, I would like to recruit you. So let's get into it. Also, hi everybody else, subscribe or whatever. Today, I'm going to be talking about a Canadian-born YouTuber by the name of Foodie Beauty.
Here's your parking lot for my binge eating video, okay? Tastes like there's cinnamon or something. Move, get out the way. Marinara sauce.
Foodie Beauty is a morbidly obese Canadian woman who started her channel, I think in 2016 or 17. Here's some background. She was employed. She got fired because of a lot of absentees and just generally being an insufferable person. She got some money for being fired, which lasted for a while. But after that, she was unemployed. She went on an unemployment, I think. And at the time, she was living with her boyfriend by the name of Bibi. She was living with this man, Bibi. Bibi is a Black Senegalese immigrant to Canada. They were together for quite a while. They lived together. And eventually, Bibi broke it off. I'm emphasizing this because currently Chantal, who is Foodie Beauty, so I'm just going to call her Chantal for the rest of this video. Currently, Chantal is trying to drive home the narrative that she left him, even though she was the one crying. And the relationship had been over for a while, and he was very annoyed with her visibly, but somehow she left him. Okay, Jan. After leaving him, she moves in with an ex-boyfriend and ex-victim that she used to bully in high school. She calls him Pete's because once upon a time in high school, she said he had a pizza face, and I think that's how that started. This is not a good person that we're talking about here, Chris. And it's gonna get remarkably worse. So before I get anywhere, let me just quickly stop to say my tone may sound mean, but there is a rule in the internet, particularly in the sphere of lolcows, where you're essentially allowed to make fun of any and everything about a person if they're sufficiently bad enough. Hell, it's not even just lolcows. I know, for example, with Cinnamon Toast Ken, he discusses a lot of To Catch a Predator episodes. And when we're looking at predators, we make fun of them. Everything. It is primary school playground rules, except there are no teachers to stop us. Well, I guess the teacher is YouTube, because at some point we can't say everything, but we say a lot. And a lot of it is mean, but she is a terrible animal abuser and has done a lot of bad things to a lot of people. So yeah, I can internally morally justify that shit, sure. Regular people think, oh, you guys are making fun of fat women. That's so fat phobic and mean. Is it mean? Yes. Is it fat phobic? Sure. But most of the people making fun of her are fat in this community or used to be fat. So it's okay. Fat on fat violence is okay. But yes, I was just quickly saying that because it's admittedly we were mean to her. But she's a piece of shit. And if you ask a lot of people, she deserves it. Who are we to decide that it is up to us to enact some sort of justice for the bad person that she is? We're nosy bitches who just like talking shit about like a couple of really big bitches who just happen to be bad people. They're not bad because they're big. They're just bad. Okay, have I sufficiently now made sure you know? Not a nice person. So how then does she sustain herself, you ask, Chris? Well, Chris, she eats on the internet for money.
Ask for money for food, you know, so a lot of people are mad about that. Like, what am I doing slaving away at a job? And, you know,
She's a super morbidly obese woman who started out as a super morbidly obese woman, and now she's an ultra mega super duper obese woman. There's a class of obesity called death fats. I'm gonna insert a clip of her walking and you tell me if that sounds like somebody who is not a death fat.
there's no lights. Imagine if I left. Imagine. Ew. Come on. Oh, my bag is heavy, folks. I feel dizzy. I feel like I'm lost. Please, God, you think I could go up all these stairs? I'm standing issue. That's so weird, sir. I made it.
Yeah. She's just walking. She used to have a lot more stamina than this.
Clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap.
She's that respectable girl.
Oh la 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 la
Keep the minute on.
la 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 la.
Stop the dawn.
La 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 la.
Stop the dawn.
La 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 la.
Keep the minute on.
La 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 la.
Dawn.
Wow.
Oh la 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 la.
Dawn.
Wow.
Oh la 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 la.
But she chose willingly to eat herself into near immobility, and YouTube has been paying her to do it for years. Almost every video that Chantal posts should come with a warning, and she shouldn't be paid. Dude, Chris, she has diabetes, right? And it's really bad. So she'll sit there and she'll test her blood sugar. It will be high. She'll talk about how her addiction is killing her. She will talk about how she has diabetes. She even came online with results of blood tests and a lot of other tests that doctors had run on her like a year ago that showed the degree to which a bunch of her organs were just failing or struggling. I remember what her kidneys are bad. Her liver is bad. Her lungs are bad. She would not be alive if it was not for modern medicine. She doesn't even voluntarily walk. She sits in her fucking room and eats, and that's it. That's all she's ever wanted, was to sit in a room and eat. So now she's living with her ex-boyfriend slash ex-victim that she used to bully in high school using his credits, which she has ruined before. But Pete is somebody who is not the most intelligent person, and Chantal takes advantage of that. Chantal has a type of man, and it's a man that she can dominate. That is who she settles with. If there is somebody in her life that she cannot dominate, that person doesn't really last long. This is important. BB, who she was with for quite some time, stood by her or stayed with her after she cheated on him. Personally, I don't understand why people stay with cheaters. When I found out that I was cheated on, I told the nigga to fuck off, and it's been that way ever since. Why you would want to get back with somebody who has betrayed you to that extent is beyond me, especially if there aren't any children involved. You're just choosing to stay with this person who betrayed you. Don't do that to yourself. You're worth more than that. You didn't sign up to date a cheater. So the minute they become one, they're no longer the person you wanted to be with. They're missing a key characteristic: self-control. Chantal has no self-control, and she is absolutely obsessed with male attention. Understandably so. She has an absent father who was never there for her in her life. So Chantal, being the mess that she is completely understandable from like a psychological point of view. So she moves into the villa with Pete. She doesn't date for a while, and then something happens. She gets horny, downloads Tinder, and then finds a man by the name of Piece of Shit. So Piece of Shit was an Egyptian immigrant to Canada. He got her hooked on drugs. It was cocaine. Yeah, he got her hooked on cocaine. She tried meth, almost overdosed and died. And now she makes fun of people who do meth. Make it make sense. So she meets this guy. She falls head over heels in love with him. And that man is just a walking red flag. There is nothing redeemable about this man. And I think that's why she was so drawn to him. He looked at her and he was like, oh, I can use her. She's desperate. She has no sense of self. She is willing to give me whatever. And all I have to do is fuck her and give her some attention. I know some of you are thinking, ew, how could you fuck her? The nigga's always on drugs. Okay, he's always on uppers. He can for what he needs. And what he needs is a lifestyle where he doesn't work and a woman takes care of him and he gets to abuse and dominate her. And that's what he found in Chantal for a while. However, the problem is that Chantal has a very, collectively in the community, all of us armchair psychologists and psychiatrists have decided that she has oppositional defiance disorder. And oppositional defiance disorder is just toddlers who can never be told anything, and that moves all throughout their life. You just can't tell them to do something. They'll always want to do the opposite. They cannot comply. They are borderline impossible to raise. It is difficult for parents with kids like this. But Chantal's mother didn't really put up with her for long. She left her with her grandmother to raise, and then when she had fallen in love, found a man, she started her family, had Chantal's little sister, and Chantal lived with them. But it wasn't long until Chantal was kicked out of the house and basically had to be like a ward of the state. She did Katimovic, which is like some charity thing, and she was in, I think she was in a home for like troubled youths or whatever. My point is she was kicked out from home. So nobody ever really wanted to deal with Chantal because Chantal is a nightmare. And what people end up doing with Chantal is they give in. Now, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, which is Chantal scamming her young Middle Eastern prince of a man.
I'm so glad I found you, yet I still don't know how. Must have been a godsend, baby. Emperor of my Albie, you get me, you complete me. I'm so glad I found you, your love sets me free.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Into purported marriage and him taking care of her. So how does this relationship start? Well, the man that I was talking about, the one she met on Tinder, on and off with her, on and off. He eventually finds another woman to provide the function that Chantal provides, which is take care of me and be a punching bag for me. He chose this woman because she can be controlled. Chantal can't be controlled. She has these random outbursts. She's dramatic. She can't really control her emotions at all. You can't tell her what to do. She can, for a while, pretend to be compliant, do whatever, but because of her toddler-like nature, she always ends up throwing a fit. And this man just was not interested in that particular type of fit. And as they interacted longer, Chantal started making less and less money. He lost interest. He was honestly very upfront about the fact that he just wanted her for money. She just wouldn't see it or refused to see it. So eventually he picks this other woman over Chantal, a woman who found him through watching Chantal and then said, I want that. She got him. Yay. So Chantal is devastated. And at this point, I think she realizes that she's lost him forever. And like the responsible adult that she is, she decides that she's going to go to therapy. She is not going to date anymore. She's going to work on herself. She's going to try and heal. I am lying. She downloaded international Tinder, and less than a month later, she was proposed to and ready to be married to her current husband. We say husband because we don't believe that they're actually married. We have awareness of the Kuwaiti laws, and some ain't right in the buttermilk. We asked to see the marriage certificate because we have no boundaries. Absolutely no boundaries. Why does this stranger on the internet have to show us a marriage certificate? But we're just like, if you want us to believe you that you're married, show us your marriage certificate. She hasn't to this day. They're not legally married. They are married in each other's minds, which is the only place that counts. So Chantal goes, she finds this man. He's young, he's handsome in her eyes, and he loves her, tells her that he loves her, and she ends up moving to Kuwait and has been with him for 3 years now, living in Kuwait. Now that we have all of that backstory covered, I want to talk about something. When this relationship started, it was very obvious to everybody that Chantal was being romance scammed. Romance scamming is when men or women use romance as a way to get people to give them money and usually get them citizenship in a country that is doing economically better than the third world country they are most likely from. We saw him. He came. He told her everything she wanted to hear. We saw him. It's like, even if you don't think he's attractive, he's still too good looking for her. And he's young, but he's with her and she's happy. And we're all like, Chantal, you're getting scammed. He doesn't want citizenship. I can't even get him citizenship. I'm not a good candidate to do that. Which she was right. And he was all, yeah, I just love you. I don't want you to take me to Canada. I want us to be together, which to any and everybody was like, yeah, okay, it's the long con. That's the whole point of a romance scam. Romance scams are a long con because you're trying to get citizenship in another country, and that's not going to happen overnight. Especially if you are a Syrian man trying to get into Canada. Borderline impossible for people who do have good credit and don't have tax debt like Chantal does. So yeah, because of this, her not being really in the best position to take him to Canada, it was easy to give the appearance that all he wants is her. It's real love. So yeah, she comes, he quits his job. She becomes his job. Before she went, both of them made a lot of promises to each other. See, what we have here is two scammers who scammed each other. They both scammed each other. This is not just a romance scam. Before the romance scam was the citizenship scam.
Anyways, so that's why I'm like, okay, and they all asked me to marry them, like instantly. Like, do you want to get married? I love you, want to get married. And I know it's because they want citizenship, so this is why. Oh well, I mean, whatever. You're on their catfish list. Oh, you're right. I could be on a scam list because I talked to that one guy. Oh no. Big Bertha flaunting her Canadian citizen privilege. And Canadian citizen cleavage.
Ah, yes. See, this whole time, we've all been under the chief impression that he's scamming her, which, Nadoy. However, something happened that made me go, oh my God. I see it now. Life is like a box of chocolates.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
So if you've seen Forrest Gump, you know what I'm implying.
Now this is normal.
Salah
Is right here.
But I don't want to say any words that might get me in trouble, so I'm just gonna call him Forrest. And when I call him Forrest, I am alluding to
he might be a bit on the slow side.
this whole time I thought that Forrest was the intellectual superior in the room because Chantal isn't a pretty smart person, and it's safe to assume that she's the dumbest person in every room she walks into. But turns out she is not. Because Salah is Forrest. What caused this realization? Well, he posted a picture on his channel and a community post of him with medals from karate tournaments that he participated in. Perhaps one of them is won, but we know that at least one of the medals that he's wearing in the picture is a participation medal. Now, he's been telling us that he has some kung fu moves and some karate training. But this time he found this picture. He was so excited and he posted that picture. But that picture was a picture that was taken 5 years after high school. So in this picture, he's about 23, 24, voluntarily putting medals he got in high school around him, taking a picture and feeling proud about that. And then now in his 30s, He finds that picture and again posts it because he is proud of it. Does that sound like a person of average intelligence to you? Does that sound like somebody who has full self-awareness to you? Does that sound like somebody who is successful to you? Does that sound like somebody who is an adult to you? How is he not mortified? Absolutely mortified. The man peaked in high school and his peak was a participation medal. Oof. That is hard. And it is at that moment that something switched in my brain. You know that sequence in a movie where a character gets a piece of information that we as the viewers got a while ago, and this information that they're getting is going to put everything that they've gone through in context. So once they hear it, they have this flashback of all these things that seemed insignificant at the time, but then when they come together, form a narrative to a big conclusion. That was that picture for me. After seeing that picture, I was like, okay, no, it makes sense why he is still with her to this day. Because the whole time, we all assumed, like, dude, okay, at this point, you must have clued up to the fact that you're not going to get to Canada. The bitch still has debts, and it's been 3 years. There is no way she can get him to Canada. She never wanted to begin with.
Hey. I don't really have the time and patience either. Like a guy, if I brought a guy over here, he would need to learn the language. He would need to go to school or find a job, and I would have to be patient with them, and I would have to help them establish their life. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to like have sexual relations with them. Maybe like help them out a little bit with what I can, but like leave that at that, you know? Bye.
And that is the crux of the issue here. Two scammers met each other, but one outsmarted the other. See, Chantal knew that black and brown men from other countries are looking for citizenship. She knew that that is what she has to bring to the table. Citizenship to Canada. A whole new world for immigrants. That's what she was shopping around. So when she accepted that this relationship with the Tinder guy was over, she wanted to feel good, feel beautiful, have sex, and make him jealous. Her way of doing this then was she literally made a video where she titled the live stream, "Who Wants Citizenship?" Now, before I go forward with this "Who Wants Citizenship," we need to go back again to the relationship with the Tinder guy. At some point, she broke down in a car and she said the very important words, "All you had to do was fake love me and I would have given you anything." Chantal was never looking for love. She was looking for exactly what a romance scammer provides: fake love. She understood that she needed to have more leverage than just money to get somebody to want to stay with her, because the money wasn't enough for the Tinder guy. So now she goes into her arsenal, she looks at herself and she says, I am not attractive, I am fat, I cannot get a good guy. In order to get a man, I need to offer something to trap him somehow. And that's when the citizenship scam began. The citizenship scam was Chantal sitting there fishing for a romance scammer, fishing for somebody to fake love her. Chantal doesn't know what love is. The only person who really loved her was probably her grandmother and Pete's. Pete's is willing to die for her over and over and over again. Actually, no, that's not love. That's just a person who has no sense of self. Yeah, it's just a down-ass person. But she was never looking for love, because love requires something very important, and that is reciprocation and self-sacrifice. Chantal cannot sacrifice herself, even for herself. She can't tell herself no. So how is she gonna comply with anybody else? She has hated authority since she was a child, and that has never changed. She encounters Forrest, and Forrest gets into it, right? Starts doing the romance scammer thing, tell her everything she wants to hear, talk to her for hours on end, give her promises upon promises upon promises of the happy ever after that you're gonna have.
He wants to buy me a ticket to come like in 2 weeks to like buy a ring. He has like a really, he wants to like just me to move in his house in like Kuwait. And he wants to get married, but he's like almost perfect in every way. He's like, you don't have to, when you get here, you don't have to worry about anything. You live here, you don't have to worry about driving, have a car, you don't have to worry about, like, the men in that culture take care of everything. And you know what? I fucking love that. I want to be taken care of, guys. You know, it's nice to be worshipped. He calls me God.
We chat like for hours all night. I've never had conversation like that with someone. Speaks very fluent English. Has a nice place. Really nice. Only known this guy for like 2 days.
So Chantal decides that she now has what she wants, which is an Arab man. She starts wearing a hijab and an abaya, which are like the traditional Muslim clothes that Muslim women wear. And she decides now she's going to be modest. Prior to this, she would be like online with her bra on. She had an OnlyFans where she posted her vagina for the world to see because she was trying to prove something. I can't remember what it is. All I remember is I saw it and I'm sad. So she went from being this exhibitionist, really, to trying to be this coy, modest woman. And the main reason she did it, other than the man, is that she's bald. She's been balding since her channel started, but it got bad 2022, 2021, round about there, and she ended up just shaving her head. And once she put the hijab on, she realized that, oh, it provided her a way to hide her double chin. And all of a sudden, it kind of like contoured her, gave her a chin. She absolutely loved that. And so she converted to Islamic clothing, but that's it. It's the only part of her that's a Muslim, okay? She doesn't even eat halal outside of a country that only serves halal food. That doesn't count. To me, at least. She doesn't pray. She's a vile human being. But yeah, she that's why we say she's cosplaying as a Muslim. She starts her cosplay, and now is the time for them to meet. So she books an initial trip that's like 20 days long. And there they meet, and oh my God, he gives her a ring. She has everything she's ever wanted, which is a fake love. Here's what she wanted. She wanted to prove that she was lovable. She wanted to prove that she could get a pretty young thing. And she wanted to make the Tinder nigga jealous. She wanted to be married and claimed. She wanted affection. And she wanted somebody who would take care of her. A pseudo parent, if you will.
What's your life? Are you busy? Yes. Thanks, Jacinta.
Wow. I know I'm not loophole married to Foodie, but I don't know if I could tolerate this. You've had to go and pick up the groceries, and now you're bringing them in and putting them away. Meanwhile, Chantal's sitting here on the edge of her couch, heavy breathing, begging for super chats. What a life. What a life.
She wanted a man who could dominate her like Tinder guy did. And I think it was easy for that facade to be maintained before she went to Kuwait, because prior to going to Kuwait, she gave him like control of her YouTube channel, like made him an administrator, and he was blocking and deleting people. And he was telling her what to do, and she would do it. Like, you should wear this, and she'd wear it. You should stop saying this. From afar, it seemed that he could control her. Boy, oh boy, was that the biggest load of shit that we have ever seen. Because immediately, within a week, she turned him into a little bitch boy. See, Salah was very open about the fact that he isn't attracted to her. He doesn't like bigger women. She's brainwashed herself into thinking he likes her, but well, actually, she knows he doesn't. She's trying to brainwash us, but come the fuck on. Anyway, he wants her to lose weight. He sees her and she's way bigger than she looks on camera because she uses slimming filters. He sees her and there's this whole idea that he's going to control what she eats and she's going to be healthy. That did not happen.
Wait, like fast food differences. Like the McDonald's has cheese donuts. Did you see you guys have cheese donuts at your McDonald's?
Everything.
Like, I can't believe it.
Not only from McDonald's.
What?
Many bakery, many shops.
Have cheese donuts?
Oh, wow. First time, you know?
I'm trying to lose weight. Oh.
I just don't, I don't like to bring it to you because your diet, you forget?
Yeah, I know. Well.
You have to lose some weight. You have to lose some weight. You have to lose some weight.
You still bring me burger. You still bring me burger. But I don't think men fully understand
and
how women lose weight.
barbecue fish for every day.
And we're going to be eating a lot more, but I have to maintain a balance of some kind that I couldn't get a grip on when I was doing mukbang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
What did Chantal do to get her way? She did what she's been doing since she was an itty bitty. She threw a tantrum. Huge tantrum. And at this point, he's trying to appease her because he's trying to keep her. They haven't gotten fake married yet. At this particular point, he still thinks he's going to Canada. So he is trying to romance scam her. But that was when she realized that this was it. Because unlike Tinder guy, she could control this guy. Forest caved like that. And that is the climate of their entire relationship. She throws a fit, he caves. And he caves because she wears the metaphorical pants, figurative pants. No literal pants, are just... She doesn't wear pants anymore for a reason, y'all. Got like 3-story football. You're gonna get that in pants. I'm not being mean. Science, physics. So he caves. And when he caves, she realizes that this is the guy. He will fake love me and I can control him with money and tantrums. I can get whatever I want from him. He will tell my viewers that he loves me. He will tell my viewers that he is mine. He will pinch my cheek and side hug me. That's as much physical intimacy as she gets. And they get to use the loophole that you can't really show affection openly in Kuwait. But he just don't want to touch her. You just don't like her. You don't want her. She's annoying. She stinks. He's made the face that she stinks. Again, I'm not even being mean about this. Pete's, her ex, once told us that she smells like old cheese. God, I know too much about this woman. Anyway, all of us were so focused on how this was a very clear romance scam that I think there are important things we didn't pay attention to. And that is what his friend Allah was saying.
And he worked before, and he leave his work, and he going for this championship play with him. In the end, he changed to another company, and he going to manager, not salesman. In the end, the first day he start, second day, third day, he said, I don't continue. I will go back to Chantal. How come? You lose your job. This one, she will go after 2 months. This time he start. Now she will go after maybe 20 days. How come you continue without work? She's with me. She will grow my channel. She will take me Canada. In his dream. In his dream. She said already in his dream. However, we don't care. But really, he's good guy. And his father is very strong in Kuwait. He's in the ministry work. He's very old also and very kind father. Really, I wish it was father, my father. But I don't know what's happened for him.
Yeah.
Together they need each other. She needs someone to drive her, take her, go outside, do video for her, and for him, he need the money coming, the income.
Okay, Chris, here's what happens. She gets to Kuwait. He tries to integrate her into his social circle. She does not fit in anything really. Like where his first apartment, because they moved and his life got better, things got fancier. He got a new car. He was living the life of Riley. Until he wasn't, because it all comes with her. But yes, when he was trying to integrate her into his social circle, it did not work out because Chantal ended up being offended and then did what she does, which is throw a big old tantrum on the internet. And she went after Allah's wife because she is deeply misogynistic and hates women to her core, sees every woman as competition for male attention. And yeah, she goes after Allah's wife, and it becomes that thing of like, okay, now we're not friends no more. And then Salah sort of, takes the side of his citizenship scammer. And Allah comes out onto the internet. He makes a channel, and he's like, if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm spilling. What do you think we did, Chris? What do you think us crazy people did? Johnny guy's like 4,000 subscribers right now. I mean, they count as dead subs because he doesn't post. But my point is, we are a community of people who love drama, and it's dumb drama, but fuck it, it's what we love. He comes online and he starts spilling some tea.
I remember someone said, she sent for me, she said, you are jealous from Salah. Yes, I'm jealous from Salah. For what I will jealous from Salah? What he have Salah to jealous from him? At least my wife take shower alone and she can enter the bathroom. Not I go clean. For what I jealous from Salah? At least when he come eat the food she cook. Not I buy from the restaurant always. At least we don't use the air fryer for frozen food always.
So when the whole sequence of events happened and I realized, oh my God, this guy's Forrest Gump. He's actually Forrest Gump. I went back and watched a couple of videos, especially when I was gathering clips for this video, and I came across his friend Allah talking. Allah, his friend, knows Forrest, loves Forrest, and worried about Forrest because he could see that Forrest was going to get taken advantage of by this older fat woman who is making promises to him that she was not going to keep. And what did he say? Forrest said, she's going to help me grow my channel and she's going to take me to Canada. Neither. Okay, I guess she grew his channel fine, but he's not a YouTuber. You know, people don't really be watching him like that, and he's not getting to Canada. Everything he wanted, he didn't really get. All he got was money. He got money, he got to move to a better place, he got a better car. His standard of life from one perspective improved, but from a very realistic perspective, everything he has to do to maintain that is worse because he has to pretend to be in love with her. He has to live with her. He has to publicly claim her. But Chantal, the woman who only wanted to be fake loved and never had the intention of bringing anybody to Canada, she got everything she wanted. She very explicitly stated that she didn't want to bring anyone to Canada because she would have to be financially responsible for them and take care of them. She said she wanted an Arab man because Arab men traditionally take care of women. She wanted to be in a culture that observes traditional gender norms. She wanted a husband. She wanted somebody to think on her behalf. She wanted somebody who would be the one who has to pay the bills, to be the one who has to think about the electricity, the one who has to drive around, the one who has to do the adult things. All she wanted was to sit in front of a camera and eat and be fake loved, to be claimed by somebody who she felt was attractive and young, to have something to lord over the internet. And here's the thing, guys, it doesn't matter how obvious it is that he doesn't want her. He's still claiming her, and that's the only thing she wants. All she wanted was fake love. She got it. All he wanted was a YouTube career, citizenship, and money. He did not get a YouTube career. He did not get citizenship, and the money is drying out fast. She knew damn well that she didn't want to bring him here. Well, there, Canada. And she knew that romance scams are a long con. So she knew she was going to have him for a long while. We call him Tall Pete's. Pete's being Pizza Face, the one I mentioned. If Salah is Forrest Gump, Pete's is Simple Jack from Tropical Thunder.
Bye, Mama. Now you can have ice cream in heaven. I'll see you tonight when I go to bed in my head movies. But this head movie makes my eyes rain.
So we called him Tall Pete's just because he was like generally annoying and her bitch. But now I'm thinking he was actually Pete's because he's her bitch. She says, honey, jump. And he says, how high? And then he jumps and says, look, I can jump really, really high. You want to see how high I can jump? He did that. He actually did that. Bragged about jumping high. The signs were always there. Here's the crux of the matter that I'm trying to get to. Two scammers met each other, but only one scammer got almost exactly what she wanted. She also wanted somebody who would have sex with her. But according to Allah, the friend, they tried and it didn't work out on account of physics. Her stomach hangs so low and so far. And his appendage apparently has been seen, because the time the affair happened, it was leaked. Other people have seen it. I love myself. I already saw her vag. I didn't want to see his dick. But people say that it ain't big. So yeah, it's asking a lot for him to be able to do physically impossible. And she's always said that she loves food more than sex. So that's not really a big issue. But Salah, Salah has lost a lot. For example, this is a picture of him before and after her. The man has aged 10 years in 3. He looks like shit. He is in such a worse off position than he was when their relationship started. And had he listened to Allah and his dad and sisters, he wouldn't be in this position. But no. He wanted to take the easy way. Does his life look easy, guys? It's miserable. It's absolutely miserable. So one of the things that Allah said, basically in the beginning, he told him that she was using him and she was scamming him and she wasn't going to get him to Canada and she was just going to use him for content. And then he'd be left out in the dark and in the lurch and all alone. And what will he have then? Because he quit his job. Here's his current situation. He hasn't been working for 3 years. So he has a 3-year gap on his CV that he's going to have to explain. Fine. He left a job where he was a salesperson and then a manager, and then he left. He gave up the opportunity to be in a job where there were opportunities to rise above, to get experience. He wouldn't have been making as much money as he has been having for the past 3 years in the beginning, but who knows where he could have been by now. But now it's 3 years later, he is nowhere near getting into Canada. Nowhere. It's never going to happen. And I think at this point he might have accepted it. But at the same time, he's Forrest Gump, so I don't even know. So he's not going to Canada. He doesn't have a successful YouTube career. The money is dwindling. And he has to take care of her. He has to walk around with her. He has to claim her. He has to be in a house with her. And her smells. When this whole thing started, they made each other promises that neither had the intention of keeping. Chantal may seem like she's oblivious to the fact that this is a romance scam, but she's not. She went out looking for a romance scammer. That's what she wanted, and that's what she got. She pretended to want a man who was dominant, but the fact that he caved the day he met her and got her Burger King was when she knew, I can control him like I can control Pete's. And she does. If she leaves him, he's in like a very bad position. He's gonna have to lean on friends and family. He can probably actually make a lot of money by getting streams where he reveals the truth for super chats and PayPals or whatever. Like when the day comes that they split, yeah, there is a big payout waiting because there is a lot of information that is embarrassing that we want to hear, and people will pay for it. They will say they won't, but we all know he could make bank if he left her and started spilling tea. And wouldn't even be good tea, because we don't even want to know good things, because again, she tells us everything. So it's gonna end up being like, can she wipe herself? Well, she's told us she can't. It'll be like, what does she really smell like? You know, does she shower every day? Dumb things, Chris. Dumb things. We're not a very erudite community. I'm just gonna list off a couple of Forrest Gump characteristics or traits. Well, there's the participation medals that are shown in his 30s that he's proud of. There's the fact that he's still with her, even though it's very clear that he's not going to get citizenship and he's just wasting his time, which I think is a sunk cost fallacy thing, and I'll get back to that. He is completely financially dependent on her voluntarily. He chose her voluntarily and continues to stay with her voluntarily. He loves playing one song on the keyboard, Crazy Frog. And Happy Birthday is the second. And he's proud, y'all. He's actually proud of it. He does it and he's happy.
He might be a bit on the slow side.
How did I not see this? Okay, there's that. Then there's the fact that he watches her live streams while he's in another room. And you hear him and his Krusty the Clown laugh. This constant laugh where he is watching her just in another room and talking in the chat to her voluntarily.
Now this is normal.
Salah
is right here.
You could be doing anything with your time You could be sitting next to her, but instead you're in another room watching her and commenting. Life is like a box of chocolates, y'all. I think the most Forrest Gump thing he has done is the fact that he hasn't left her yet. Now I'm gonna talk about the sunk cost fallacy. I wrote it down. The sunk cost fallacy is a cognitive bias where individuals continue investing in a decision based on the resources they have already committed rather than evaluating the current situation and future benefits. This often leads to irrational decision making as people struggle to abandon projects or investments that are no longer viable. Chantal stopped being viable a very long time ago. Very long time ago. The whole thing with the sunk cost fallacy is that you hold on to this thing for so long that you lose time you could have used to actually get the thing that you wanted if you just admitted to yourself that it's not going to come from this. If you stop trying to squeeze water out of a stove. I think he's at that point where he has convinced himself that I have already put so much into this, I might as well stick it out until I get to Canada. And if we pay her debts, we can find a way for me to get to Canada. I used to think he had accepted that he's not going to, but when I realized he's Forrest Gump, I'm pretty sure he still thinks he's going to get to Canada. I mean, he's put so much time and effort in. What is he going to do? Leave and admit that everyone was right? Leave and admit that his friends were right, his family was right, admit that he fucked up his own life, leave and have to now find a job. She has him where she wants him, which is essentially completely dependent. And I think the most embarrassing part is I think this might end in her dumping him. And there are some people who don't leave relationships. They are people who have like really low self-worth and feel the need to always be with somebody no matter what. I think Chantal might actually leave him because, again, you have to realize, although she is now borderline housebound and can't do shit for herself, she's sick of him. And he's in a position now where he's constantly trying to push her to take healthier decisions. But he's also dumb because he should have realized that first week that this is not somebody who I can control. This is not somebody who I can successfully manipulate into doing what I want all the time. This is somebody who requires me to continuously do things for them, to take care of them. Had he been an intelligent romance scammer, he would have booted her because he would have realized that she is not worth the effort it takes to be with her long enough to be able to get citizenship. What made me realize the reality of this scam even more, like, okay, at that point I already realized it, had the intention to make the video, already getting clips, thumbnail made, but because I've been so busy with school, this is the first opportunity that I have had to record this. And because of that, I was able to watch Mr. Snowflake's latest installment of Shattered Reality, his documentary series on Foodie Beauty. And this time it was chronicling the relationship she had with the Tinder man. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, I was right. This guy really is Forrest. Because Chantal went from one romance scammer to the next. And she realized that in order to keep the romance scammer, she needs to learn from the mistakes she made with Tinder guy. And the biggest mistake was not having enough control over him. She tried to use money to do that, and it didn't work because another woman came in and offered money. So she had to kind of change the kind of man she looks for. Because here's the thing about romance scamming, which Forrest took for granted because he thought, oh, it's just easy. I'll just lie to some fat woman or some insecure woman and I'll date her and then eventually I'll get citizenship. He didn't realize that you have to carefully select the person that you are going to exploit. They have to have the characteristics that make them somebody who is easy to exploit. You want this situation to be as painless as it can possibly be. Because again, the whole point of citizenship scamming or romance scamming is that I'm trying to get something and I want to cheat my way into it. I want to do it in an easier way. I don't want to actually go through the steps of what it takes to be a citizen in another country. I want a shortcut. And the people that they scam also want a shortcut to love. They want the good feelings. So they select whoever tells them what they want to hear. But Chantal didn't go to him because he reeled her in. She stuck with him because she knew that he lacked what the previous guy did, and that was a backbone. So she knew she could control him. A good romance scammer selects somebody that they can control. No one's been able to control Chantal since she was a child. No one. Not even herself. That's why she's eating herself into death and she can't stop it. Nobody can say no to her. Not even herself. He came into this because she had the verbiage of, I want to be a pious wife. I want an Arab man who will take care of me. And I want to be told what to do. And I'm going to listen and comply. But when she got here, that's not what happened. The reason I say I think Chantal is going to leave him is because she did a 12-hour live stream. A 12-hour live stream, Chris. Well, it was 11 hours and 55 minutes. And I was like, girl, come on. 5 minutes, but whatever. Rounding up. She did a 12-hour live stream. And in that 12-hour live stream, we got to see a glimpse into the actual dynamic of their relationship. And that's when I was like, yo, he's a bitch. Like, she has him worn down. At this point, she was perfectly comfortable disrespecting him on camera in front of everybody.
Well, he doesn't have to stay with me if he's not happy. 100%. Like, I don't know. If I'm not making someone happy, then just don't be with me then. You don't have to stay with me, babe. You can get another travel partner. I don't care. That's fine.
He wanted something simple. Can we just go downstairs, take a walk? She doesn't want to walk. Could you eat healthy? She doesn't want to eat healthy. Come on, let's just take a walk. Come on. She doesn't want to walk. She ends up throwing a big tantrum, tells him to leave, and then starts laughing at him. It's like, oh, are you upset? Why are you upset? And then she starts laughing at him. And then somebody in the chat says she's being mean to him and that she's laughing at him. And she's like, I wasn't laughing at him. When did I laugh at him? She does that a lot. She wants to gaslight us. But it's like, dude, we just saw you do it. How demented are you to think that you could manipulate us like that? Anyway, she thinks that because she can manipulate him. Because that's the thing about manipulators. They don't have to be smart. They just have to be good at what they do. And what they do is they seek people who are below them that they can then control. She knows that she can't get the kind of man that she would really want. So in order to get something like that, she has to find her way in to a relationship with somebody who is younger and more attractive, and that would be to offer them something. And she offered him that. There is no way that they never spoke about him coming to Canada. There's absolutely no way. But that was something that he pretended not to want to do so much because he wanted her to feel comfortable with him. It's been 3 years. He looks like he's aged 10 years. He's nowhere near getting to Canada. No prospects. And he's stuck with her. She, on the other hand, is getting annoyed with him. He was like, but babe, how are we gonna travel together? Because she's always like, oh, we're gonna travel, we're gonna travel, we're gonna travel. Been saying it for 3 years. They only went to Thailand once. Oh, we're gonna travel, we're gonna travel, we're gonna travel. Not gonna happen. But he's like, babe, how are we gonna travel? And she said, well, if you wanna travel, you can go and get somebody else and you can leave me. That's what you want? Go ahead and leave me. Does that sound like somebody who's in love to you? No. That sounds like somebody who is comfortable because they know that they have someone exactly where they want them. The fact that she can now openly disrespect him the way she did, laugh at him the way she did, do all of that, and he still comes back, still claiming her, still pretending to love her. I ask you, dear viewer, who scammed who? Only one of the two was aware that they were being scammed. The point of my thumbnail is that she is dumb, but he is dumber. And when two dumb people are in a room together, relatively speaking, one of them is intelligent. Relative to the room. But yeah, no, she got him. She got him good. And I don't see any way he won. I doubt he's been saving money. And he hasn't been able to get anybody better. But I'm sure she can always scam somebody else. It's just that he's losing out on vital romance scamming years. He's lost vitality and youth. He's lost whatever looks he had. And he's chubby now. Used to be a svelte king. All this time, I just always wondered, why won't he leave? The money is dwindling. Every month is worse. Why won't he leave? He's Forrest Gump. That's why he won't leave. He doesn't see the world the way the rest of us see it. You know how everybody was like, I told you, Chantal. The same thing is happening with him. His friends and family know who and what he is. His dad, as Allah said, is like an important person in the ministry of Kuwait. We know his sister is educated and he apparently has a business degree. But if he is willing to show us participation medals proudly, I feel like we would have seen that degree by now. That's just me saying. Methinks the degree, like the marriage certificate, does not exist. And he doesn't have a business. And his business was Chantal. And he thought she was a good candidate to scam. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. If you stayed around this long, you are awesome. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification button so you can get a little bloop when I do post. Thank you very much, Chris. I really want you to get into fat bitch drama with me. But yeah, oh, and if you want to email me, my email is in the description. I do like emails more than comments, to be quite honest, more intimate. But yes, that is it. If you want to support my channel, link is there. You can do it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with me today.